board meeting. We have quorum in the house. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting on January 28th. Hopefully we've read that. Can I get a motion to approve? Mike, thank you. Second by Pete. Any additions, subtractions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved. And we'll move into our committee reports. I'll kick it off with our board operations committee that met on February 11th. The committee reviewed the agendas for this month's committee meetings as well as in preparation for today's board meeting. Lisa Morello and Kevin Bronner updated us on advocacy activities relating to the governor's $260 billion budget that offers a 5.75% increase in STOA funding. In early March, we expect to see the one house budget proposals from the Assembly and the Senate, which will allow us to set expectations for state transit funding. We talked about changing and condensing the board committee meeting dates and times. We've sent out some information to you about that. You've all been notified about it. Ask for your feedback and we'll be moving ahead with that. So the next meeting of the Board Operations Committee is now going to be on Wednesday, March 17th, right here at 110 Waterloo Avenue. Any questions on that? Not, we'll move over to Performance Monitoring Audit Committee.
Thanks. The committee met on February 18th this month, right here, and got a couple consent agenda items, administrative discussion items, the financial and non-financial reports that I'll just brief you on. First is to approve a contract award for heavy duty engine oil contract, and it was presented by Stacy, who I don't see here today. Amazing, you should probably have another concert to go to. Heavy duty oil is used in the CDTA bus fleet. The current contract is set to expire. An invitation for bids, it was issued and provided an estimated annual usage of each type of oil, as well as required composition to ensure compatibility with CDTA's fleet. The bid from Safety Clean was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. This represented a 45% decrease from our current price. And we need a motion to approve a one-year contract with one operational renewal year for the purchase of heavy-duty engine oil be awarded to Safety Clean Systems of Norwell, Mass. For an estimated cost of $345,758.
Thank you, Denise. Second by Jackie. Any questions on this? Drill, baby, drill, right?
That's good, that's good. Awesome.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved.
Okay, this is accepting of state funding is the next one. And Melissa had presented this. CDTA was awarded a competitive funding by New York State Department of Transportation through the Zero Emission Transition Program for advancement of the West Facility Project and pilot program to prove how effective hydrogen fuel cell buses perform. These funds are provided at 100% New York State share, with National Grid providing $4 million in costs for utility construction and installation as a match. The intention of the ZET program, that's the Zero Emission Program, is to use the funding to leverage future federal funding to support the complete construction of the West facility. New York State DOT requires CDTA board resolution, and the resolution allows us to execute an agreement with DOT to accept $17,500,000. We need a motion to approve the New York State DOT to approve to New York State DOT to execute an agreement to accept $17.5 million in funds.
Jackie, second by Mike. We do this a couple times a year, get money from the state. It's all a good thing. I'm sure there's any questions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved.
Awesome. We're moving on to administrative discussion items. Now, the risk management workers' comp report delivered by Amanda. Our procedures require a quarterly review of the adequacy of our risk management self-insurance account and the separate workers' comp self-insurance account. CDTA is self-insured for most liability exposures up to $2 million. The These claims include bodily injury, property damage, and certain other claims, including no fault. As of 1/26, we have 47 pending liability claims, 34 of which were in suit. A number of inactive cases have been closed out. As of 1/26, CDTA had 13 liability cases with reserves of $10,000 or more, 7 of which have reserves of $25,000 or more. The balances of the risk management and workers' comp self-insurance accounts are adequate to meet the anticipated needs of CDTA and its subsidiaries at the present time. Are there any questions on that? Okay, move on. Trish had provided a monthly management financial report, and here's, I'll give you a summary of the revenue and expenses. On the revenue side, MRT is 4.6 over budget for the month and 21.7 over budget year to date. I just comment, I think I read an article now that there has been that they saw a drop in housing purchases over the last month unexpectedly, so we should, we'll see how that impacts us. Fares are 13.81% under budget, which is in line with the last January fares. Year-to-date customer fares are down 6.8%. Facilities income is on budget for the month and 6.5% over budget year-to-date. On the expense side, wages are under budget by 5.13% for the month and 5.3% year-to-date. Second realignment and gained efficiencies are producing the savings, which is rock on, everyone. Let's see how this works. Seems to be going in the direction we want. Workers' comp is over by 41% for the month due to timing, but is under budget year to date by 20.4%. Maintenance services is over budget 34% in January due to snow removal and timing of custodial invoices. Year to date, it is 14.2% over budget. And fuel is 18.5% under budget for the month and 11.7% year to date due to reduction in platform miles. So that is our monthly financial report. And then on the non-financial side, Gary and Rich providing the info. Ridership declined 7.2% year over year and 2.2% year to date in January, primarily driven by the extreme weather and recent service transitions. But despite the decline, overall demand remains relatively stable compared to prior year levels. And Saratoga Flex ridership had 2,776 trips, which is awesome for us Saratoga folks. On-time performance system-wide improved 4% year over year, 2.1% year to date, reflecting sustained operational reliability gains. Mean distance between service interruptions increased 111.3% year over year and 281% point year to date, demonstrating strong fleet reliability performance amid higher mileage and demand pressures. That's awesome. Total days not worked levels remained elevated at 17.2% year over year and 7.2% year to date, indicating continued attendance pressure. Decline month over month from 10.41% in December to 9.73% in January, particularly in transportation, reflecting incremental improvement. Maintenance posted at 8.39% in January, slightly higher than December of 7.04%. Star missed trips increased 62.1% year over year and 18.6% year to date due to recent scheduling process changes that now provide a more accurate reflection of on-street activity. Despite year over year increases, performance has stabilized and improved over the last month. Star ridership increased 1.2% year over year and 6.8% year to date, reflecting sustained demand growth for paratransit services. Star on-time performance declined 12.2% year over year and 0.9% year to date, influenced by scheduling adjustments, increased demand. Performance improved compared to December, indicating early stabilization. And last but not least, Star customer comments increased 14% year over year, 53.6% year to date, reflecting higher service interaction levels. Complaints declined compared to December, suggesting partial stabilization. And that is the report. Our next meeting is on Wednesday, March 18th, right here at noon at this square site. So, Mr. Chair, back to you.
Pete? We'll move on to Community Stakeholder Relations Committee. Jackie?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Community and Stakeholder Relations Committee met on February 19th here and via Microsoft Teams. Staff provided updates on our renewed ambassador program. Actually, Jack Rogan gave a presentation that was very good on the program that is designed to complement existing CDTA operations and reinforce a customer-first approach to safety, fairness, reliability across the entire system while supporting our operators. We've partnered with Tech Valley Security to provide this service on our buses. Some of what the ambassadors will do: provide route and customer service information, help with fare compliance issues, and assist with disruptive behaviors on buses or at bus stops. Ambassadors will ride various routes throughout the week, and the program officially rolls out today, February 25th. So, today. Any news yet this morning on that?
Quite cold out this morning.
Emily DeVito outlined the next steps in the creation of our project, CDTA's vision statement, building on the ongoing refresh of our organizational values and success outcomes. Emily presented 2 vision statements to the board based on input and feedback from this committee, and the board will now choose the final version. The updated vision statement will be introduced in coordination with the rollout of our refreshed values on April 1st across internal and external audiences. I think everyone should have received an email about that last week. Jamie Caslow presented the Earned Media and Community Engagement Report. In the past month, CDTA issued 5 press releases, generating 5 media stories across multiple outlets. Coverage highlighted our push for increased state funding, and an op-ed featured in the Times Union, and how our system operates during a snowstorm. Thank you to Jamie for introducing Albany operator Jairus Jones, and he represented the company so well during an interview with Channel 10. So it's great to see that we're utilizing our staff to do that. The people on the street really do well. Social media engagement continues to grow. He was part of it as well. High-performing content featured our Mobility Minute segment, focused on this month safety and security, as well as information related to the January snowstorm and the February snowstorm and the March snowstorm. I know, I'm sorry, but I should just say the weekly snowstorm. Oh. CDTA hosted several internal events, including a maintenance appreciation dinner, a retirement celebration for 2 Albany operators, and Go Red for Women's Day. CDTA participated in multiple community events this month. Highlights included our participation in the Capital Region Glows Red initiative for the Heart Association, and a field trip we hosted for the Capital Region OCs, students studying automotive technology. Upcoming engagements include the State of CDTA on March 11th, hope you can all be there, and Transit Worker Appreciation Day. Jonathan Scherzer led a discussion about introducing full wrap advertising on our buses. We took a field trip out to the parking lot, and we're working with our partners at Lamar. They have proposed to wrap a select number of buses in our system that will lead to increased revenue for CDTA. And as Jonathan noted in here, we viewed a bus that featured a full wrap. Martin Harding and Bizzotti, right? Or Martin Harding, I'm not even that sure. And we were given the opportunity to provide feedback before moving forward with the bus wraps. But it was fully involved with the wrap, so it was a nice job. The next meeting of the committee is scheduled for Thursday, March 19th at 11:15 a.m. here and by Microsoft Teams. March 19th at 11:15 a.m. No? Oh, okay.
I gotta double check those dates, because I believe in March we're gonna start the
New
Project.
times? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so yeah,
so stay
that
tuned.
TBD, to be determined. Thank you, Mr.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Any questions on that committee report? Seeing none, our 3rd committee report is Strategic Operational Planning Committee. Mike Grisham.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met last Thursday at 12 p.m. here at 110 Waterbury Ave via Microsoft Teams. We have 1 consent agenda item for the board today, and that's the approval of success outcomes. The committee reviewed a recommendation to formally adopt updated organizational organizational success outcomes to guide CDTA's strategic direction, performance measurement, and CEO accountability. The framework was developed through a collaborative leadership process and was previously discussed at our December board retreat. 4 proposed success outcomes are intended to define what organizational success looks like for CDTA. Number 1, financial stability, responsible stewardship of public resources, and long-term fiscal sustainability. 2, customer engagement, reliable, accessible, high-quality service informed by writer feedback. 3, community values, support for regional mobility, equity, economic development, and sustainability. And 4, employee engagement, a motivated and supportive workforce essential to safety, service, quality, and innovation. Members agreed that this balanced framework strengthens accountability, supports consistent decision-making, and enhances the board's governance role. The committee recommends advancing these organizational success outcomes for adoption and approval, and we just need a motion to approve.
Pete, second by Denise, thank you. Any discussion on this? The help of our partner TransPro, staff has done a fantastic job throughout this whole process, been very impressed with moving along with our vision statement and values and the success outcomes, and certainly the realignment of the definition of success for the organization, I think is trademark of that Frank has brought in and really pushed very hard for his first year here. So thank you, Frank, for moving that along. I think we've made a tremendous amount of progress and more to come in the future. Really appreciate the hard work that's gone into this. Anything else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved.
Okay, and we had one administrative discussion item, and that is regarding our fiscal year 2027 budget update. Trish Cooper provided an update on the status of the budget. Projected fiscal 2027 operating revenue totals $142.4 million, a 3.1% decrease from fiscal year 2026. Increases in mortgage tax revenue and facilities and interest income are offset by declines in customer revenue and operating assistance. Operating assistance is projected to decrease by approximately $5 million. State operating assistance reflects a 1.8% increase based on the governor's executive budget, noting that higher state funding levels would reduce the projected shortfall. The draft budget also assumes use of $3 million from our prior year's surplus. Total operating expenses are projected at $150.6 million, an increase of 2.4% over fiscal year 2026. Wages are budgeted flat with contractual increase effective mid-year. Cost pressures include higher health benefits, maintenance services, purchase transportation, and insurance and claims. These increases are partially offset by reductions in fuel, professional services, and workers' compensation. Based on current assumptions, the draft budget reflects a projected deficit of $8.16 million. Additional work is underway to identify savings through operational rebalancing, annualized wage savings, and further expense refinements prior to board consideration next month. The next meeting of the committee will be in March, to be determined at a later date and time, and that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Anything else on that? Well, move on to the CEO report.
All right, my turn. Well, I was gonna open it up and say we're in the home stretch of winter, but as we,
Jinxed you.
let's be optimistic, and as marches upon us and big thaw happened. So,
Wow.
so I think I summarized February has been, I think as strategic advancement, but continued advocacy has been what this team has been focused on. And not in any chronological order, but today we did launch the renewed ambassador program. Jack and I were out there in the freezing cold today, my ears almost fell off, but again, this marks phase 2 of our fare compliance, respect the ride, pay your fare campaign, and we're excited because this is truly a passive approach to fare compliance, and the ambassadors have been prepared properly. They know what their marching orders are, right, to be out there to help the folks, help the operators, but provide community value. So we're looking forward to, you know, what the outcomes are, but we will provide this board and all these employees with an update on this. We continue to see good success with our realignment. Phase 1 and phase 2 have essentially gone off without really remarkable, what I want to say, discontent. Minimal customer disruptions. We have improved on-time performance as designed. Really kudos to Mike Williams and the planning team, right, to reinvest some of those times. And I gotta say, you know, we have seen a significant reduction in overtime reliance. I mean, that shows basically overtime last year versus this year. We almost completely removed the reliance on overtime to operate the bus system out on the street. So great job to the entire team, right? For STAR, you know, we do have fair or good customer satisfaction numbers in that, and you know, that's part of our outcomes, but we know there's a lot more work to do there. We're not complacent. You know, Rich Cordero has briefed us on a lot of the work that he has in play. I mean, again, it's hey, let's make sure how are we measuring, how are we actually calculating our on-time performance? And if it's not right, let's make it right. And that's what his team was working on. More recently, I met with Jonathan Scherzer and his team about now taking a good look at, you know, our customer service and our call center. Like, how are we measuring it? And are we measuring what truly matters to the customer? So we peeled that Band-Aid and we're starting to look at that because, again, I think we need to do a bit better there. Measure what matters to the customer, not what matters to us. The state budget, we're fully immersed in it. As a matter of fact, yesterday was NIPTA Advocacy Day. We spent time yesterday morning, the whole day at the Capitol, and you know, it kicked off with a question and answer panel with the Assembly Chair, Ranking Transportation Chair Magdarelli, and the Senate, Jeremy Cooney, Transportation Lead, and we had a good, healthy discussion around how they're passionate about transit funding and advocating for our 15% STOA and advocating for the DMV fee for the sustainable funds. We spent the day meeting with the different members of Assembly and the Senate. I can tell you, and you know, we finalized that with a meeting with some executive members of the chamber. The message is there, right? We've done a good job. NIPTA's done a great job. The message is there. Folks do know that it's essential that we get this funding. It's just how we're gonna get it is to be determined, all right? So, you know, yeah, I'm sure you read the papers, but more out there. March 11th, we will do more advocacy during our state of CDTA, right? And that gives us more time and everybody the ability to really reinforce that message. You know, the one house is expected ahead of that, but again, and then ultimately we have to adapt our budget in March, right? So, you know, a lot of work to do, and you know, we're confident that we're gonna see a definite increase in what the existing STOA is now, was proposed by the governor. Stay tuned. We mentioned, I think I put it out to everybody, the positive, what I call positive news, right? To the appropriations from the federal, from the THUD Appropriations Act. It's basically flat. It's minute increase, but some of what was proposed by the House was draconian. So, you know, we'll take a level budget there, and we're happy about that. And then, you know, thank you, everybody. There was a lot of hard work in and around the strategic framework here, from We have our mission statement, right? We know we've had that, we have a stable mission statement. Now we have core values that we adopted, right? Drives, right? Everybody has to know, understand what does it stand for? Who can say? Tell me what drives stand for. Anybody? Dedication, respect, innovation, versatility, excellence, and safety. Those are our core values. And everything in and around our performance evaluations, our recognition are gonna be centered around that. And now, late breaking news, thank you, Jackie, so much for your hard work. It is unanimous with this board that we are going to adopt option 2 as our vision. Unify the region through sustainable mobility, strengthening communities, and positioning CDTA as a vital driver of growth by connecting people, places, and opportunities. So now we officially have strategic framework, right? We have a mission, we have a vision, we have core values, and then ultimately now, thank you all, we have success outcomes, right? That's our goalpost, okay? So we're excited about it. I have a great team here who's gonna help deliver this for all of us, right? And I think in closing, I'd be remiss to say, I wanna wish Jeremy Smith, who is our Director of Facilities, who's gonna be moving on, I don't wanna call it greener, but other pastures. But we appreciate all the hard work and your accomplishments here. I've only worked with you a short time, but I'm grateful for that. But we're thankful though that Jeremy's still gonna be working in the community that we serve, so I think there'll still be synergy and a partnership. Thank you very much. And that concludes my report. I will take any questions if anybody has them.
Thank you, Frank. Any questions for Frank?
How are we feeling about the event on the 11th? Yes, the 11th. It's a big,
Me personally, yeah, I'm
you
feeling
should
good.
say.
He's never been
Thank you,
to one.
I'm glad you offered to.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Chairman is ready to go and.
I've already set my alarm for it. Bright and early.
I personally love that event and boy, that garage shines during the event, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great opportunity for you. Any special guests we know? Last year, did we have the federal folks here?
Well, there's no more federal folks.
I know.
It's still be
Years
to
ago.
be
That was 2
determined.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure of who has responded, so,
It's a great event.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised, I'm scared about this surprise. Maybe it's Kevin.
And shout out to the maintenance folks who always get disrupted for things like this,
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
they
yeah.
still have to operate through
Place
this,
looks
so
great,
thank you,
yeah.
Dave.
Any other board member comments? If not, then our next board meeting will be March 25th, right here at 110 Waterville Avenue by